Welcome to the DMV. Jumbo happy happy. Mama on your chicken wings. Home of crank, funky jumper, feel the heartbeat.
Cheef and Go.
What's up, y'all? What's up, good people? Back here at Cheef and Go. I am on the go as usual. So I'm in here still figuring and tweaking. I had this thing on live for Instagram, but I don't seem to see it. So I'm not sure if it's gonna come up on Instagram. I tried to set it up, but like I said, I've been ripping and running down to a minute ago. I thought I said I thought I had it, but I got a very special episode today. Two special guests, good friends, family of mine, family of the go-go community. Look, I'm just hitting them with the link. I ain't even gonna hold you, but we talked last night. But I meant to touch base with them earlier, and I haven't had a chance to do that because I just be on that go. You know what I'm talking about? Damn. But yeah, I don't see it. I didn't outsmarted myself. But like I said, back again, I wanted to play these links, these segments I do called a minute. It's called What Go-Go Means to You. It's a minute with Cheef and Go, right? That I have recorded, and I got one of Ali and I got one of Nikki Bonds. So I was gonna play them joints while we get this thing started and wait for the family to get in here. But like I said, when I did that, I didn't did something to the damn Instagram where the live I set up is not popping up. And so we just might not be on Instagram today. You know what I'm saying? No big deal. But I still can share the links. How about that? So I'm gonna share these links to give you a brief preview of our guests. For those who don't know, I'm your host, Chiefism, Chiefy 64 times, Chiefy Dog, Chief Dizzle for Shizzle for Sheezy for Show, Mr. All of the above, Chief Keep It Brief, all my AKAs, here to just, bring you conversations about the culture, doing it for the culture, man, trying to spread the word about our history and enlighten people on some of our musicians and managers and promoters and what have you, DJs, to give you some insight on their story. So that's mainly what this Cheef and Go is about, doing it for the culture, keeping it cranking. Let me see if I get this right. Like I've said before, I'm just getting familiar with this StreamYard. And I keep saying, man, you got to sit down here and practice and get everything, do some test runs so you'll have it all straight. But it seems time just hasn't permitted yet, but we getting it together. You know what I mean? It's live, baby. Spontaneous, just like go-go music. Oh, that's what we do. Okay, I want to make it full screen. Hold up, y'all. Come on, I'll make it full screen. I'm not used to Instagram on my damn computer either. Yeah, I don't see how to make it a goddamn full screen. Double click. Well, like I said, I'm still learning. But hold up, y'all. Bear with me. We got some great guests in for a great conversation. But this joint is not loving me right now. You know what I mean? It is not trying to give me the full screen action. That's funny. That's funny. I don't know what's going on. No, not invite. Present. I'm trying to present a video for y'all. You know what I mean? Entire screen. Hold up. Window. Boom, boom, boom. You know what? The hell with that. I got another link for y'all. I'm waiting for my sister, my trusty partner in interview in media, Kim Evans, to come through and help me out. Let's see. But let's pull this one up. Let's just pull something off YouTube up. And I'll play something while we wait. You understand? Yeah. Let's see if I can get this one. If I can get this one working right. Let me see here. Boom. Wait a minute. Don't do that. Don't do that. Here we go. Oh, wait a minute. What's up, bro? It ain't working for you.
Yeah, I can't. It ain't letting me. The microphone or the video not coming in.
You ain't. When you first came in, did it ask you that? I mean,
yeah,
you know,
it's not allowing me to. It's not allowing me to access the microphone or the video. So.
Damn.
Let me see. Yeah, let me see if I can. It might be my phone, my settings.
Yeah, the settings. It's usually in the settings, and maybe it just didn't let you when you came in, but you could go to settings and look for StreamYard, and then you should be able to allow it to access.
It's coming from my it's my Google or something.
Oh, okay.
Because I don't have that app, that StreamYard app. I just click on the link, but it ain't letting me get in. My camera audio, so I don't know what the fuck is going on.
Oh, okay. Well, it's all good. I'm about to play your legendary performance on Pockets and Sockets, and we'll figure it out. No worries.
I'm trying to get in there.
All right. Present or invite, share screen. See, what I want to do is, okay, on a good computer. This is a good computer. Share the screen easy with 2 monitors. Okay, I can dig that, but I don't got 2 monitors right now. I usually do. I thought it was gonna let me okay, here we go. All right, y'all. I'm gonna let this jump rock for a second. Hold up. See, it's doing all this stuff he talking about. It ain't letting me, yeah. It's making me go in the settings and all that. So we just gonna let it rock out like this. You know what I'm talking about? Why ain't they gonna play though? Oh, I gotta play it first. See, Kim? I don't know what I'm doing, Kim. But I will in a minute. Wait a minute, what's this? Hey, that's me. Hey, yeah, no, hold up, yeah, hold up, Slim. Hold up, Slim. Where's the screen share? Oh, I'm messing up. Slim. All right, I think I gotta play it first. Play it. Right? Pockets and Sockets. What I'm trying to play. Oh, stop screen. Okay. I don't know what y'all saying, but I'm over here making a mess. Share screen. There it is.
Right back, yo. Pockets and Sockets. Woman on up style.
Ali the Great, y'all. Formerly known as Chi Ali.
CPU's finest in the building, y'all. Oh, the DJ. CPU collabo.
Yeah, a couple technical difficulties.
Huh?
Oh,
Hands up out of my pocket.
Oh, thank you, Kim. Thank you, darling.
how you feeling. Hey,
What
living
up,
legends in
JD?
the building.
I'm getting it
Hey,
together, but you know,
tell me how you feeling.
Cheef and Go is just kind of
BJ's in the
impromptu.
building. I said,
That's how
tell
we
me
do,
how
y'all,
you
and Go Go.
feeling.
We
Living
just go
legends
with the
in the
flow.
building.
Hey,
Tell
Starlight,
me
stop
how you
laughing at me.
feeling.
You should be helping me.
Living legends in the building.
You might not
Hey,
even know about the
BJ,
stream,
you
y'all.
got it, y'all.
Ali the Great, ladies and G's. From the good pockets of sockets. Shout out to Montrue Midcraft and
He's
Capri
slow
Monique.
walking that motherfucker. He's slow
His
walking
family.
tonight. Hey, living legends in the building. BJ, you gotta
Let
stop.
me hit Nicky Barnes, man.
Work out, BJ. You gotta stop.
In the meantime, between time, y'all. Nah, it's all good, Shy. I mean, you know, as we move on.
He's slow walking.
Young BJ.
Work out, BJ. Hold it. Hold it.
Oh, there you go.
Socket beat. Socket beat. Pump it up.
There you go, y'all. All right, Kim.
We gonna wake him up tonight, Reed. Hey, BJ.
Gonna let it warm a little
Hold
bit.
that beat.
Hey, Kim, man, I messed up on Instagram. I had about 6 windows open.
Huh?
Yes, indeed. Ali the Great on deck.
Hey, BJ. Hold that beat.
I'm about to bring them on in and get this thing going, y'all. It's hard to turn that crank
on.
Big crank right there. Super crank. Cheef and Go, y'all. Go to post it.
And put the cap on the floor.
All right, Ali. We'll bring Ali on in. Man, that thing is mean. I ain't look at the views. What you think it's up to? 400,000? Half a mil?
Yeah, probably like a half a milli right now.
Damn. Yeah, that was definitely one of my favorite episodes. Introducing y'all, formerly known as Ali the Great, lead talker, rapper, lyricist, smooth
Songwriter,
type
producer.
producer, right? Producer, brilliant mind when it comes to this music, and a strategist, right? He move a certain way. We talk, you know what I'm talking about, and I'm really impressed by, you know, his mind and how he think and look at stuff and analyze the game, and you know, is very impressive. So I had to bring him on the show so y'all can see this, right? So Ali the Great, formerly with Subtle Thoughts. I'm not even gonna do that. He was with the Huck-a-Bucks for a stint. Pretty much, I was going out the door, he was going in. That's a funny story. We ain't gonna get into that right now, and we found out that we are blood cousins about 3 years ago, with the long lineage of go-go talent, all-stars and veterans and legends that just keep popping up in our bloodline. So it's only right that I bring Ali the Great on the Cheef and Go. My
Cheef and
guy,
Go.
what's up, cuz?
Hey man, thank you for having me, family. I appreciate the invite, man. It's long overdue. I'm 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 pleased to be, with you and your patrons. I definitely am.
Hey, man, I appreciate you. Likewise, likewise. So, I guess just a brief. It'd be great to just have a brief, story of where, like this. I like to ask where that bug came from, that musical bug, as a youngster, because it's always a turning point or influence or a moment or a series of moments that make us say, man, that's what I want to do.
Man, for me, it was I always heard go go. And I was always impressed by the music just moved me. But seeing go go live, on VHS or whatever it was, beta or whatever it was back then.
Right,
Man, when I saw Go Go Live, man, I just said, man, I want to do that. I want to be a part of that. I gotta find some way to get in.
right.
You know, so I studied the percussion realms first, and learn how to play congos. That's what my introduction to to go go was through percussion.
Okay,
And I started playing congos, and I played for High Performance, which was a local group over the 58 side, north side of U5. Playing a lot of local gigs, um, and it started there. But um, unfortunately, I was into a different lifestyle, and I went away for a minute. And when I came back, the style of congos had changed from a gallop, like a horse gallop, like grr, grr, more to a Latin rudiments, the grr, and I couldn't play the Latin rudiments, so I still wanted to be in a band. So I went to the front line as a backup rapper. You know, and if you didn't know, that's one of my gifts is being able to write lyrics. So I was a hype man for a minute, and I backup rap for the same band, High Performance. And when that didn't work out, it was an opportunity that opened up for me as a backup rapper for Northwest Youngins.
hmm.
Um, and I backup rapper for Northwest Youngins. Tried out and got the position with them. And I remember my first show was at the hotel in Silver Spring. Uh, um, you know, I still remember that show to the date. And after that, I backup rap for with Northwest Youngins for a while. And Green Eye Mo, we played at the Ibex, and Green Eye Mo didn't come. And they was like, man, we need a talker. And I was like, well, you better call somebody. He was like, nah, you gonna talk. You gonna have to talk tonight. And I was like, man, I don't know what to do. They was like, man, just get up there and talk. And that energy I felt and that placement, um, I knew that that's what I wanted to do. After the show, people was like, man, you got the voice, man, you got the style, you got the look. That's what you need to be. You don't need to be no backup rapper. So after that, uh, I thought that I was gonna be the lead talker for Northwest Youngins, and management bought Green Eye Mo back, so I quit. Like I'm not going back to the second string quarterback. I'm not, what I'm saying, taste of throwing the ball in the end zone like that. I got to be first string.
Right.
And
Yeah.
they so I quit Northwest Youngins, and I was going around to clubs asking to get on with bands, and they was like, "Oh, you want to play the Congos?" I was like, "Nah, I want to get on the mic. I want to lead talk." So people thought I was playing, and at the Barnetts, a band called Unique Dimension
Right.
gave me an opportunity to get on the stage and lead talk that day, and somehow they got my number, and that's where it started for me and Go Go. Don't ask me the year though. I
Oh,
don't.
look, you already knew. See, that's that blood, right?
Yeah, I
You
don't the
already knew. I'm
year. I
like,
don't know the year.
But I'm gonna tell you when it was around, it had to be around 92. I don't know how long you was with Unique Dimensions, but I think I told you the story. We were at Brentwood Day. We were playing with a band called Potential. That was a lot of the Huck-a-Bucks first band at Blade. And we were, little field Brentwood Day. Outside was everything for us in the 90s. We got most of our shows was outside. And we played, and I'm just a little ghetto drummer boy. I'm just getting started. I'm playing for about some months when I went to the band. I'm playing for a couple months. And so this probably 6 or 7, 8 months in or something. And I break all my sticks. And somebody bring me a broomstick, like an old broomstick. I break that. And they like, keep it going, And I go break off tree branches. So this is the ghettoest performance that ever was. But after that, Unique Dimensions played. And they had this lead talker. And I said, man, Slim right there is sharp. It was something that stood out. I mean, and I'm just getting into it, but we were playing. We were doing Fairmont Heights Day and different Rex and Salvation Army. We were doing spots with different bands with Raw Deals and Opportunity, Total Groove. I had seen some things. I had seen some bands, some talent, but I just remember that moment that you stood out in with Unique Dimensions. And I kind of always remember the name because I was like, whoever that talker is on point. And that's crazy because I didn't know you started with
Unique
high
Dimension.
performance, and I didn't know you did the Northwest Youngins part. I didn't know that. That had to be 91, 90. You had to be a youngin at the Ibex. How you get in there?
Quick question. You can still hear me because I set the phone down. You can still hear me?
Yeah, it's a little in the distance, but it ain't.
I'm gonna
I can
bring
hear
it back.
you.
Yeah, I just wanted to sit it down. I'm gonna bring it back. Um, you say how I get in where?
No, I'm just playing because we was youngins in the Ibex playing, and
Oh yeah.
I think it was a 21 club. A lot of the clubs was 18, and you get the band if to drink. But I just remember being in there, and it's like we ain't even supposed to be in here on the second floor
Oh
in the
yeah.
bar. Like it's just a recipe for disaster, if you ain't careful. But
Right.
so yeah, and look the Mo thing. Mo came back. You say I can't do the number.
Nah,
No,
I can't do the
that's
second
the same
string.
thing with me. Is just like, yeah, I can't do the second string thing. I'm just sorry. And that's just how it's in our blood. So all right, Unique Dimensions.
And from Unique Dimension, one day I did a show, and I was the only frontline member there, and only frontline member there. I think it was at the Y for Sound or something like that on Ritchie Road, if I'm not mistaken. And I got a call, man, out the blue, and as they say, man, Charlie Fenwick wanna talk to you. So uh, I say okay, and he scheduled a day and a time, and I went up there, and when I walked in to speak to Charlie, he was playing that tape from the Y for Sound when I lead talk by myself, and he said, man, I need that. And he said, I want that with the Huck-a-Bucks. And unfortunately, the Huck-a-Bucks had disbanded from Joey, you, uh, and the rest of the clan. So we was the next generation. I had an opportunity to perform for the next generation of Huck-a-Bucks, and it was my Congo J. Pooh was the drummer. Fat Cat, I called him Fat Cat.
That.
Yeah, cause that's where his name came from. He was kind of heavy,
Yeah,
and he was a cool, like the old school say, he was a cool cat. So that's where his name came from, Fat Cat. I called him Fat Cat. Los keyboard. Uh, Rob was there.
yeah,
Um,
always.
Ty, Freaky Ty was there, and Lamont was there as well. And that was the Huck-a-Bucks for that after Joey and them. And man, and we kind of recreated the sound. Like of course we had to play the hits that y'all created.
Right.
And you know, instead of saying, "Shall we do this?" as the record would go, we just changed the cadence to it. Shall we do it, do it, do it, and put an
Mm.
echo on it. Um, you know, so and it was fun for a while, but you know, I was a rebel, and and I wouldn't stay under the tutelage or listen to Charlie when Charlie was trying to give me direction and where to take the band at, and the band was more so listening to me instead of listening to Charlie and the direction. So you know, they let me go from the Huck-a-Bucks, and they let me go from the Huck-a-Bucks, and you know, I was once again I was in a different lifestyle, so I kind of went away after that, and and when I came back, I was with Solo. I got an opportunity to play with Solo. And for those who don't know who Solo is, Solo was Northeast after Northeast Groovers. When they disbanded, the members, the band itself had formulated Solo, Sounds of Us Living On, and I got an opportunity to play with them or perform with them. And what you hear is synonymous with myself is the cha cha slide, the go go version of it. One hop this time, bump, right foot, left stomp, and that's a song that I hate to the day. They turn up. If I go on, I might go up there and turn over the DJ booth. No, I'm just joking. But I don't like that song to the day. And
Let me ask you this, because we talk about this on the phone, y'all. But why? Because it plays so much, or is it something in the music sonically, or something about the time that it remind you of? Why do you not like it?
it's a combination of things. It's the time. It's the time. Um, it's a remake of a song. You know,
Oh,
uh, you know, and it was a time that I wasn't going through the best of myself. You know, personally. So you know, I really don't like this. I ain't want to do the song anyway. I really
oh,
didn't want to do
I can dig that.
it. And
I can dig that. Now, this is something I don't know either. How long was you with the Huck-a-Bucks?
man, I believe for maybe a couple of years, if I'm not mistaken.
Because yeah, I
Uh,
left 98 ish, 97, end of 97. It was like in and out. I was half quitting playing with Prop, and they was having things with Joey and AJ came. Brian even came. I meant to talk about that in this interview. Brian came through to try, see if that was a fit. AJ, like I said, and Julian had came in locked in. So I
right.
was in there with Julian for a second. Then you came, and we had that funny palette delight incident. And I'm hanging with Stomp and Fat Cat at the time. We had this thing called the Drum Clan. So, I was around, Pops live up the street. And I remember that fateful day I rolled through. And yeah, and that was funny, but I got out of there. But I just be wondering, like on the timeline. So HB 2000, was that you or Pee Wee?
That was Pee Wee.
Okay.
That wasn't
So
me.
that's
I was
probably so it's probably a couple years, almost 2 years, because I'm like I said, I'm
I
the
think
end of
it's like
97
90.
to 99 sometime.
I don't know, brother. Time bad. I'm bad with the time frame on a lot of
Yeah.
that stuff. But I'm terrible with the
No,
time frame.
not that important couple. Yeah, I was just wondering
You
for
know, but
me.
it was a good run. You know, we was all up and down the East Coast, performed at the Kennedy Center, things of that nature. So, you know, it did make a mark on the legacy, but you know, a lot of people don't know about. If you hear the tape, like
Oh
they
yeah.
was actually playing the tape or the now converted to CD in the barber shop because Congo J cut
Mhm.
my hair, and people was like, man, that's something new. That's a new band you with. Like that's how advanced the sound is from that. You know, people thought it was recent.
Mhm.
Yeah, but yeah,
Yeah, 5'8". I got 5'8", I believe, 98 from the Icebox. Because I think I'm on 327, 98. And I think maybe they let Joey come back because AJ was 11 something 97. And I think they tried it again with Joey, and then Palette Delight happened, and it was a college joint.
Right. I
I was
know.
supposed to go
I
to,
know
and
the John. The CD. The specific show was Stony Creek, and
okay.
yeah, they was playing that at the barber shop. But after
But
that,
I'm saying the joint I heard, it was that joint crank. Like you said, y'all updated things.
yeah,
But
yeah,
you put your own Chi Ali, like I said, producer, creator, writer, visionary, and the pockets was clean, right? So let's just say this. No disrespect to Pooh Fat Cat, but he was like it was like five. It was Buggy, Lil James, Stomp, and the Stomp I did a drum clan kind of turned into the Drummers Breakfast. Stomp is just that Stomp,
right,
and but we were all practiced together, and so it was Pooh then me, right? And Stomp younger than me, but he was, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying, I didn't expect when I heard back this tape. I'm talking about 5-6 months ago. I'm listening to this John. I'm like, man, they was holding it. Because all I remember is the story about Pooh falling off the stool or some shit. But I knew he could play, but I'm just saying, and
yeah,
that's to the effect of Huck-a-Bucks sound or Essence sound or any band who knows what they're doing. It was a clean sound. And
yeah,
you ain't supposed to be doing too much until it's
right.
necessary, right? But I was impressed just to say, yeah, y'all carried the torch for sure. But
Yeah, yeah, but it was an
yeah,
honor. It was an honor to even be given the baton. And back then, I didn't, I was into myself and really didn't understand or appreciate, what was given to me.
right,
But looking back on it, like that was, and then it was a hell of a shoes to attempt to fill. So I couldn't fill those shoes because in go-go or in the industry when somebody is in the forefront and you attempt to come behind them and as a group and you have the like in it like the Temptations you have to sing the songs that the people know, right? But you're not going to be able to outdo that person because that's where the people first heard it from, so you have to do it in a variation and make your own mark on it. You know what I'm saying? Like David Ruffin.
exactly. Gabby Mo say, hey, Ali the Great.
Yeah, Gabby Mo, what's up, Gabby? Hey, yeah, and then at the solo, unfortunately I had went away again. And that was a real that was a real trying time in my lifespan, man. I was going through a whole lot in the streets, in the courts, man, it was really weighing on my psyche. I was facing some time, man. I was losing my hair, was going through multiple cases, and
So so right here, Ali, can I tell the story? Because this is what I remember, right? So the story just fits right here. Segue, y'all. So it's about 97. We had the Palette Delight. Ali came in to be the talker. I'm playing with prop utensils, and you have realized we 21, 22, 23. And now I'm over here with Funk and Benny and all these guys, and I'm feeling myself. We was feeling ourselves with the Huck-a-Bucks. So now I'm extra feeling myself. And I might have been playing with Soul Patrol at the time. I'm just like, yeah, I'm out here. So not that the Huck-a-Bucks was a afterthought or second, you know what I mean? But it was Ricky had left. The brothers I started with was gone. And so it wasn't exactly the same. And then, if people know about Charlie Fenwick and just being with a label and some of the things that come with it. I'm not here to bad talk nobody right now. It's a lot of stuff that come along with that, a lot of pressure and things that be going on, but you still trying to do what you love and give this crank to the people. So we had the Palette Delight with Backyard. Mind you, I've been playing on this Hot Cold Sweat off-white set, right? That Blue Eyed Darrow and them been playing on, right? It say Hot Cold Sweat and Pleasure on it. And Charlie got all these drum sets he brag about. I got 9 drum sets, mom. And so, but yeah, you keep bringing this joint out with no back head on the toms, and it's just, it's just not the greatest set. And it used to bug me because a lot of times I'm playing and I'm fixing hi-hats and I'm stuff falling, and it's just a lot that you got to deal with on top of what's going on behind the scenes. So Ali just coming in. So we up this pallet delight. It's some type of makeshift go-go. You know how they do, especially back in the day, right next to Crystal Skates. And we playing, so we opening and we cranking. And however I learned or whatever it is, like Blue say, why you lift your leg, I always kicked hard. I started late. I had to play with these 6 foot something, 300-pound icans and stomps, and but I had to play with these dudes, and my leg wasn't as strong, so I'm pushing the drum so much where I'm the kick drum. I'm next to the lead talker. Me and Ali, I'm looking up at him like this. Hey, right? That's how it would happen. But what happens is the drum moves, but my stool don't move. So now I'm trying to kick, and the drum is way up there. So this had happened numerous times. Just repeated, technical difficulties. Hold up, y'all. Chiefy got, and it just make me look like I don't know what I'm doing. And some of it was that. But around this time, I'm playing with Funk and Benny. I kind of know what I'm doing. I got a dog leash, and I strap myself in or whatever. I don't know if I forgot it that day or whatever the case. But I don't think I did forget. So what happens is you got to have a carpet with rubber on the bottom, right? Got to have rubber on the bottom so congos and drums won't slide as you hit them. My stool was probably on the floor without the carpet. No, my stool was probably on the floor, but the carpet they had was like carpet that's in an apartment with like nylon on the bottom. Anyway, the drum sliding over and over, sliding over and over. And we had it this time. So Ali come in, and the crowd, that shit cranking, y'all. If you look at the Lorraine video, it's like that. It was ridiculous. And I had so much, I was fed up. So I turned around. I had switched my shoe back in the day. I'm tying my shoe and put my shoe on, like, nah, that's it. Shut it down. And Ali looking back like, oh, Chiefy, come on. Like, nigga, this is my first show. Come on, Chiefy. Come on, bro. Like, we cranking. And I'm just like, man, it wasn't nothing about him, right? It was just like, I'm fed up. I felt bad, but boom. So anyway, we go outside, Roy and them, they cussing me out. You can't do that, this and that, this and that. Backyard started playing about 10 minutes. Brrr, clack, they stopped. Because Buggy like, nah, because it's sliding. Whatever they did, they went next door and got that mat from out front of one of these carryouts or crystals, and they got Buggy right. You know what I'm saying? And Backyard continued to crank. But it's like, they would just tell me, keep playing. It's like, nah, let me get it right so we can perform properly. Anyway, right. Then, like I said, I'm out the band soon after that. So, I'm on the scene. And I remember when Ali was in the band, he said, don't get this shit twisted, y'all. I'm just a well-dressed thug, because Ali was slick. He coming in there with the little shirt with the V-neck, you know what I'm saying? His little sweaters and all that slick shit, right? And the boots. We used to have a little joke with Stomping them had jokes. So I ain't really,
Them boots.
Turn my boots on, jazz on my tabs. But look, some of these things that became classic, right? It's always the different. When you come in and you different, it's going to be a little funny until it stick, right? And now it's going to be what people either copy, or, you know what I'm saying? Right. Or that's going to be, because that shit became classic later. And Stomp always Joan on me and Joe, the Chief fee 64 times. The Buck shit was so simple. They had jokes, but guess what? Simple is how that shit sell. That commercial, yeah, it was commercial.
Yeah.
We sellouts, we try and sell it out. Right. Anyway, I'm hearing about Ali in the club. Yeah, man, Ali's in the man. He done hit a nigga in the head with a butt woman, man. Yeah, Ali. And it was like a couple times.
Man, listen,
I'm glad this nigga ain't fucked me up that day, because we know
man, I wasn't that type of person. But if you started something, I was gonna definitely finish it.
Yeah.
So I wasn't that type of person. But in the incident that you talking about, I didn't actually start that, man. I finished it though. And
you finished it well.
Nah, but but them people testified on me, man. They testified on me, took the stand. A number of them took the stand on me. So, that was around the time where I was that's when I was going through that. That's I just made reference to it with the solo and going through a lot of court cases. So that was around that time.
Right.
But Yeah, man. It was just the industry was different back then. It was a lot different. It was changing too. But like the things that we went through growing up in the industry back then, and even with promoters, and the stuff that they do today, man, a lot of these dudes, man, would have got handled. Seriously, it ain't on no gun level, but they would have got beat.
Yeah.
It just and that's why I say, I'm a fan of the music. I love the music and the people who support it. Um, um, Me personally for years in any band, whether it be from Unique Dimension all the way to Subtle Thoughts. Man, I'm greatly appreciative of those individuals. But the industry, I'm not a fan of the industry, man, and the stuff that go on today in music, in the music and in the industry and with the band members and these promoters, man. That's why you see me and then you don't, because before I revert back to, that person, I would remove myself, man. I don't have the time for or the patience or the tolerance for a lot of the stuff that go on. So that's why you see me and then you don't. But and to make reference to that, doing the solo time, man. I was really at a all point, a all time low in my lifespan, man. Like, uh, it was like the world was against me, and the only person that was really in my corner was the brother Ronald Moulton. If it weren't for Ronald Moulton, I might not have been here today. I would have been dead or in prison for the rest of my life, and then going through all of those court cases, and nobody really wanting to deal with me because they heard that I was a violent person, and I was unhinged, and things of that nature, man. I ain't had nothing. I actually was sleeping on Ronald Moulton's couch, sleeping on Ronald Moulton's couch when I was performing with Solo. He paid for my attorney uh, uh, in one of the court cases, and I still actually got some time on it, and it was a felony charge, but and I was able to recently in 2018, through research and studying, I was able to go back and get that case overturned, a felony overturned. So they struck the sentence from the record because the lawyer who Ronald Moulton paid was disbarred for similar actions like he did in my case. Like they gave him the money, but he never came to court. He never filed no paperwork or nothing like that. But the courts had actually moved forward without my attorney being there, the judge and the prosecutor, and gave me a felony on my record without representation, which was a violation of my constitutional rights. So we were able to get that overturned in 2018. So a lot of the stuff that I did back when is has been a challenge and overturned.
Okay.
But I'm gonna get to there. Let me take the people back.
Okay.
Going with Solo. And when I came home, uh, before I went in, I was in touch with Kamis Lee,
Mm-hmm.
Songbird. A lot of y'all know. And after I went through did my stint in time. Um, when I came home, reached out to her, and she was like, "Man, I'm glad you home, man. I got something for you." And it was First Touch. I practiced with them one time, and then I was on the Michelle Wright show with Kamis Lee and Mike Muse. Soon after that, uh,
MHZ.
yeah, I was on the Michelle Wright show. Then Kamis went to it was Touch of Essence, First Touch, then Touch of Essence, and then Kamis had left and went to Subtle Thoughts. That's when the disband men of Subtle began with the legacy of Gene Pratt and Shelley Blackwell. They was going through difficulties or breakups there, and Kamis Lee got in. And then Camise actually brought me on to Subtle Thoughts, and the rest is what you see today. Multiple variations of Subtle Thoughts. Um, um, uh, After Hours. Then Listen. That's a lot of people don't know that I used to travel and perform with Listen and do their go-go set as well. So a lot of people don't know that. And then Subtle again and multiple variations of Subtle Thoughts. So and that would solidify what they call a legacy or a career in this industry right here. But you know, through that time, man, trial and error, changing attitude and just having a different insight, or within myself, to be able to change my attitude, and sculpted me into the person that I am today. But a lot of that is a contribution of people like my man, Mr. Moulton. When the world was against me, man, he held me down.
Yeah, that's tight. When you told me that, I was happy to hear that because you know how this city is. It is very fickle, and you hear a lot of stuff about people, and I always like to meet people and have conversations and build my own rapport. Get my own impression. And when you told me that, it was just like, yeah, it's probably it's probably a
Yeah,
good brother. It ain't what It ain't always what people say. You got to see for yourself. I mean, everybody got. I ain't that nobody perfect. That's not the point. But just to know that he did that, he got a lot of points in my book. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah. So and that went on to multiple subtles and things of that nature. Yeah.
So, what was your favorite spot to play with Suttle?
Favorite spot? I would say 94th Aero Squadron, Club U, and LaFontaine Blue.
Right. Okay. I heard of.
94th, Club U, LaFontaine Blue.
Okay.
Yeah, that it was just it was they were the capacity. It was always, and when I say capacity, it was always a lot of people in those venues. Club U was just a different setting within itself. Then 94th Air Squadron was a little bit more luxurious, a different time frame. But the capacity of people that could fit in there and the people that came out, it was always a lot of people. Then LaFontaine Blue, that was just on a whole nother level, man. LaFontaine Blue was just on as far as every week. I'm talking about thousands of people every week, to see Suttle. That's when we was on a run. We had our run right there, and
Yeah,
that a serious run.
that's what I thought you was gonna say because I remember hearing about the 94th Aero Squadron, which is right down the street. I could damn near walk. This is a nice walk, but I remember Listen being there, and I would hear about it. And some nights I might even just be riding through there and be like, "Good God!" But when I started playing with Soul Patrol, I kind of, you know, wasn't really on the go-go scene like that. Well, I mean, we was doing like 4 nights a week, 3 sets a night.
Right,
Except for like one night, I think we did Elite on Sundays, Club Elite, and that was 2 sets. But we was like
right.
Tacoma State, Tacoma. Well, we had like a Wednesday. When we had Thursday Club U, we was
Oh,
Thursday Club U Thursday before.
hey, and let me add this
What
one
day
in.
did
And
y'all play on Club U? My bad, real quick.
I can't remember, bro.
Go
That
ahead,
that
go ahead, go ahead.
I can't remember what days we played there. But another club that I really admire and appreciate, man, which gave us a lot of stability. Man, Tacoma Station, man, can't forget about that.
Oh
Like
yeah,
now I know the days that we were there. We was there like every Friday at Tacoma Station. We was Thursday at LaFontaine Blue, I believe, and then every Friday at Tacoma Station. And that was for years. We had Tacoma locked in. And that kind of solidified uh, uh, us on a weekly. And I remember we used to play it was 7 days in a week. We used to play 2 and 3 shows. You know, we had a day party. We
Mhm.
had a Tuesday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday night. Then when you start going into the weekend, you talking about 2 or 3 shows a day. So you know, man, that was around the clock right there. That was there's some serious runs with multiple variations of subtle. You know, subtle thoughts at the time.
Oh yeah, yeah. I was on fire. And so like I remember listening at the 94th. So I know this is all around the same time, but then I remember LaFontaine Blue with y'all. I think I did come up there. I think I did catch y'all up there once or
Right.
twice. But that man, that was crazy. It was like, you know, back in them I'm gonna say TikTok days, back in the Taj Mahals, the ice boxes, the black Scorpios. This is all before CFE. I'm just trying to think of these dance halls where it was just this ice box. Did I say that? It's this huge dance hall, and it's not a bunch of sections, and y'all can be cute and just stand in your section and fake dance. That it was a party, and then I guess the DC and they was trying to crack down, and I think that's what happened with the dance hall license and those type of things. But LaFontaine Blue was it was like these was the joints before even that hit before it put us in lounges, and that was a sexy joint, right? And it
Yeah.
grown and sexy was at an all-time high. And so I
Yeah.
just remember,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, because I was Zoe Patrol and we was, grown and sexy, top 40.
But
And
y'all had y'all own lane. It was a different. It was a
yeah,
difference.
it was a little different, exactly.
Yeah. But you know,
But
y'all.
y'all was cooler. Like we were, our age bracket was a little older. And like y'all was just more, it was more emphasis. It was still pocket. Like we would
Right.
do the song like the song. Jazz, we doing chameleon and average white band, same tempo like the record, and as the set progressed, we would get into the contemporaries and then end off on some go-go, which we didn't even have a Congo player or keyboard player for a few
Right.
years. So,
Right. Right.
and y'all, the vocalists, with y'all and listen, really separated it. You know what I mean?
Right. But
But
that was the it was a formula, Chiefy, whereas though a lot of people don't um um really take into account the success of a grown and sexy genre of go-go. It's a formula of music that was, of course, you can't consider Chuck Brown grown and sexy because it's not. It's Chuck Brown, So the first pioneer of that type of music was Maisha and the Hip Huggers, and then then you had your branches off of that. You had Listen, you had Subtle, your Soul Patrols, but it was a difference because it was different frequencies, and they played music and you might hear Jay-Z talk about the frequencies, or Michael Jackson talk about the frequencies in the music, and it was more so music that was centered towards love and those types of frequencies. You know what I'm saying? Then it was medleys, segues, transitions, bridges, intros, outros, skits. It was a
yeah,
show with
band and
that
show.
band and show. You know,
Real quick. Was Subtle a top 40 or a jazz band before Pratt got there? I remember at the time
you
hearing they were
know,
like, yeah, Subtle been around for years. You know how bands are come and go. And I used
right.
to hear that. And I don't know if you know that or if that
Yeah, Subtle started out as Subtle Jazz. They used to be a jazz group, and
okay.
of course, any band in the city that continues to play and get the crowd, in this atmosphere of DC, Maryland, and Virginia, they're gonna always be itching for the pocket. So when they introduced that pocket, that expanded to Subtle Thoughts. It was Subtle Jazz at first.
Right. Okay. All right. But yeah, so back to the frequencies and the
Yeah,
formula.
Yeah,
Because
the formula of the music, man, it just was a difference, and this is why it was so successful because one, it dealt with frequencies of music, and it also developed showmanship, Like I said, segues, transitions, medleys, all of those things, which are kind of like missing in music today. You get some variations of it, but it's still not the complete formula. You know what I'm saying? The complete formula of grown and sexy. You know, right now in go-go, it's more so song drop off or song socket. And I'm not a believer of just a song and a socket. I feel like for me, and this is why I'm not. Two reasons why I'm not in a group today. One is because the position that I hold is, unless you start from the flour in the oil, which would be scratch. Everything is solidified up there for not just a talk or MC or whatever you consider me to be. The second thing is that, man, I've been in the studio with attempting to develop some things with people, and it's just the same mindset. Like some people have respectfully have never reached a plateau of performing 7 days a week, multiple shows in a day, and they still chasing the club scene. We've been through that time in our lives where we chase position in the clubs, and I don't want to do that. I believe my philosophy on the music at this point, as a songwriter, as a producer, you know what I'm saying, as a lyricist, is a show. Like my wife and I, we went to see Erica Badu, and listening to the music, and once again the transition, segues, medleys. That's a show to me. You know what I'm saying? We also went to see Casey and JoJo, and they came out with a DJ, and I walked out of the jump. I was just so disappointed because I'm looking for a live show. I
Instrumentation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
instrumentation, man. I feel like, and the advantage that GoGo has is that a lot of the artists that are national, they most of their time is in the studio, and then they tour. The GoGo tours every night and spend less time in the studio.
Mhm.
Uh, but that's my vision of a band or musicianship or musical arrangements and things of that nature. It's just not song to socket. And a lot of people, when they get in, they don't want to break that mentality. They still want to hit the same punches and chords, and not work on different frequencies and different pitches and different sounds than anybody has used to create a distinctive sound. I remember way back when even if the front line didn't say anything, if the beat was riding, you knew who it was.
Mhm.
If they ain't had to say nothing. If they did a transition and the beat riding, you knew who it was. And it's really only a few bands I could say Vibe is of course conquering their lanes that they in now, and they picked up the that continuous music, and they do the bridges sometimes, transitions, but it's like the Chuck Brown flow.
Mhm.
um, of course, Sirius and Company, they still took renditions of the formula from Listen, and they do it. They do it from time to time, and that's the music that I love, and people can't. That's the style that I love, and a lot of people can't come out of the box and be able to play that stuff. They just want to do the bare minimum, song the sockets.
Yeah. So it's like a lot of people when me and Sean had So Swag, it was a lot of rehearsals coming through. So we just listening to the bands and just when you sitting in that studio and numerous bands coming in, you really hear like what we saying about, a lot of people say it sound the same. You walking down the street and you hear something, like you said, back in the day, you could tell. It was
Right.
junk. It's Northeast by the beat, by the way it's mixed,
Yeah.
by the way the Congo's tuned. It's just so many elements, nuances, pieces of why you can tell who that is. And then, but so you sitting in there listening to band after band practice, and you really start hearing it like, man, this is just all the same. And so I posted something on Facebook the other day, like why aren't we putting out more music, right? Because Spotify and these DSPs, when you go to upload your music, like you have Splash, right? We got to talk about Splash, but when you go upload it, it don't give you a category for go-go. It's not a genre that is recognized at this point. Now we got the Grammys that's doing the folk, and like basically this, they're giving us they trying to lift us up, where a lot of sections in different it's a lot of sections in different cities and states or whatever that have their own form of type of thing, right? So they made a basically a Grammy award for that category. So they saying like, man, we need at least 100 a year from y'all where we can recognize that. So I'm basically saying like, why are we not putting out more music in a way like, how can I help, or how can we help each other? Like, let's get the pain points, let's figure out what the obstacles are, and let's tackle this together, which sounds crazy and go together. I mean, it does and it doesn't. Like it's a lot of shit that's together that people don't even recognize, and that name, that stigma has been put on us too. But it is a lot of that separation, and I'm gonna do it for me, and I want to be the guy. Saying that to say, back in the day, we had a certain sound, and you could recognize it, like you're saying. Oh, the point I'm making is, so the studio, like you said, so in the music industry, artists come, let's just go from like the 80s, once drum machines and let's hip hop and all that, right? Because before it was bands and Motown, but even in that sense, music always came first. Production of the song, right? You make the music, you find out whether you do surveys, you figure out how it's hot, right? Motown, they would run outside because they had all them writers and all those musicians. And they said they would go to cars and say, man, who got the best version? Smokey would write something, Stevie. And they said they would go and they would bring people in to survey this music, to figure out, okay, this is the version we going with. Then you figure out, you do it, you press it up, and now you go to tour. Touring is going to show and promote the music that you made. Like you said, go-go, we playing because our culture is in the party and the going out and the crowd interaction. And some of the people in the crowd, they just as famous as the band members. You're gonna know a nigga from the crowd before you even know who might play keyboard, right? The drummer,
Right.
the Congo player, the lead talker, the Congo player gonna always be, right? But you're gonna know some of these people. So I get that. That's our culture. I'm proud of that. I love that. But and I don't think that's gonna ever transfer that aspect of it, right? To each and every. I've been in Atlanta. It's hard to do to each and every, right? But and that's good. We can hold that tight. But as far as the beat and that energy, trying to recreate that boom boom boom, we are so consumed with the beast and playing every week. Somebody said that in the joint. It was just like, man, I think it was Stomp. It was like, yeah, I got all this stuff, but bands playing so much, they don't even got time to go record. And the real case is they not making time to go record because they don't see the importance in that, because they playing every week, and Field
Right.
Band
Because
is making some good
right.
money. You
Right.
know what I
Because
mean?
yeah, that's the culture of the city, man. It's about it's not about putting out music. It's about captivating the who dominates the club, man. And for me, at this point in my life, I'm not interested in dominating the club. I want to dominate the radio.
The world,
You know,
right?
yeah. I want to dominate the airwaves. Get something that's competing with national artists on that level. So I ain't interested
Right.
in every night. Uh,
Which could take you overseas, right? You get a song that's hot enough and push it hard enough, pause, because this is a crazy time with music. It's oversat, music in general. It's just, but
oh,
it's ways to do it, but
let me let me let me interrupt you 1 second,
you can
bro.
fly out of here.
Let me interrupt you that and respectfully, I don't do the pause stuff, man. I don't even
Yeah,
get
me
into
either,
all of
really.
that.
usually,
right
but
there.
he ain't.
Yeah, I don't
I
get it.
probably done said some shit earlier, but I don't really be caring that shit. Anyway, so it's funny to me. It's a joke. So sometimes I do it, but I understand that's grown man shit. But listen, we can fly out of here. So I remember, I've been in I done played a lot of places, and like I ride around. I played there, I played there, I played there. Yeah, you get tired of that. If I guess if your mind is at a certain whatever understanding level, and we older now, but even
Right.
back 30 something, even with Soul Patrol, it was like, young, this is burning me out. We playing the same joints, we seeing the same faces, and it's cool. You start
Yeah.
just doing it kind of for that check. But I'm saying we
Right.
could be over somewhere else. So if we do it like that, it's like it's designed to be done, and you know what I'm saying, and pull away from that club to each and every, maybe just for a second. You might lose a little money and your little attention, but go in the studio and put something together.
Hey,
It ain't
yeah,
about
you're right.
we gotta
Hey,
be
look,
national. It's
but
not about we could be up out of here playing and
let's
seeing the world.
yeah, you're right. But let's talk about the elephant in the room right now.
All right, come on now.
So what I just found out maybe I think it was like 2 years ago, maybe 2 years ago, is that this guy who I've been playing with and performed with the Huck-a-Bucks and seen him around the city all the time, know him as Chiefy, is actually my blood cousin. Like I found he was at the family reunion, and I found out that he's some kin to me. And we have a family of musicians that people may not know. I'm quite sure you know a lot of them, but you probably don't know that we related. Chief is related. Dirk from Homes from Vibe is related. Lil Benny is related. Lil Garland is related, and Gene Pratt is also related. Related. That is all bloodline right there, man. And it's crazy that growing up seeing Chiefy and I always knew Dirk was my cousin because I saw him at the family reunions.
That was
And
y'all outside, the green shirts. That's y'all
yeah,
have green
the green shirt, yeah. And then I found out that Lil Benny was the cousin because the family reunions back in the day. But I never knew you was Ken. I knew Garland was Ken from the family reunions back in the day, and I didn't know Gene Pratt was Ken as well. Until maybe I think you maybe like 2 and 3 years ago, Gene Pratt about the same time. So that is crazy that all of that musical talent is from a stream or bloodline, and I never did the history on the lineage, but maybe, our ancestors back in the day, man, they was some musicians as well. I didn't really check into that, which we should do. But
yeah.
but long story short, if you didn't get it, you might have. I went all around a Robin Hood bond with it, but Chief and I actually blood cousins. That's
Yeah.
my relative right there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
we don't look like cousins. He got a lot of height over me. You know what I'm saying? I'm like 5'6", TV like 6 something. I'm a little darker, he a little lighter. So we don't look like family, but that's blood right there.
Look, Ricky went on Sir's Vibe. He brought up the Derek. Derek said, yeah, we got waves. We got waves. Look, that's one
Hey.
part that you know what I'm talking about. We got that in common. But now, and it's crazy. I was in Atlanta. I was playing with I played with props. It was way before that. But I had tried out for Lil Benny in the Masters. And I'm talking to Benny outside the joint, and we in the table. I'm saying, yeah, man, I'm Chesapeake, man. My wife moved up there, boom, boom, boom. And we just talking, and I had this song called Ready. I'm gonna send it to you. I got this song called I'm Ready. Gotta get the Fetty. Carry something heavy. My mind is my 9 lines deep like D. Gregory. Keep the flow steady. Always got that Betty. All time for me to
That
shine.
sound like
Each time
Benny.
I say, right, you know what I'm saying? I was hearing it in his voice.
Right.
I'm telling him, like, yeah, we supposed to get together. And I don't know the timeline on this, but I moved to Atlanta not too long after that. And he passed. And my father called me one day. It was probably in the summer. He came from the jungle. He said, "Man, my father, the boy Derek, Vibe Band or something." I'm like, "Yeah." And I'm just getting in the vibe because I had seen him before. I seen the clip of something. It's like they was hitting Lockett in 1-on-1. I didn't dig too deep, and it's just like, okay, everybody do that. But at this time, I had been watching them Tacoma Station jumps where he was by himself
Right.
playing the cowbell. I said, "Oh, Slim, a bad boy." I'm watching, like I'm loving these. I'm watching them. My father called me like, "Yeah, I've been watching this dude." The irony though, and they like, "Yeah, what about Lil Benny?" I'm like, "Yeah, I played with him, nigga. You remember I told you I played with probably, you know." And Benny used to be like, "Man, fuck that nigga, Funk Chief. Fuck Funk Chief. Chuck gonna call you in a minute." He be like, "Chief don't want no beef," right? So Benny was always cool, you know. That was my
Right.
guy, and I just didn't know that. And then so I come home, I go talk to Derek. They playing somewhere. He said, "Yeah, well that mean Ali your cousin." I'm like, "Yeah." So I go find you. You was at live. Y'all was playing the live. I said, "Man, you know, Derek say we cousins." You like, "Yeah." And you talking about, and but you said I'm on the Pratt side. I remember
Yeah.
that day, and I was like, that must be, well, maybe Gene Pratt, our cousin, because Bugs will always say Mike Stevens, right? I thought he was saying Mike Stevenson. Mike Stevens, you know, dude used to hang with Pratt. Is a dude used to hang with Pratt. If you listen to old Junkyard, oh, my nigga Mike Stevens, boo, boo, boo. And I knew they hung. So I had put that together. And this was, you know, but you done trace that even down. And that, man, it's just a cool thing because,
Yeah, it is, man.
you know, there's a lot of talent in the family. And so my uncle played guitar for like Simba and his in a couple groups. I ain't gonna misquote the other one, but he got this voicemail of Chuck. He said, "Man, I don't know why I saved it, nephew. We was talking that we had did a joint for my grandmother, my father's mother. That's the Tap Scott, right? But we got musicians over there, and we like, yeah, we gonna come together and boo, boo, boo." And so I'm just thinking about how to tie it all together. But he was just telling me about this voicemail he had, what Chuck called him, because Mighty Mo, my uncle, a postmaster, and Mighty Mo all delivered mail for him. So like Mighty Mo damn near family, because we was, you know. But he said, yeah, Chuck, and I got it. I'm gonna post it. And he's saying, yeah, Mr. Stevenson, you know, I'm trying to get you know, Mighty Mo trying to make sure, you know, it's all right with his job and everything, because we trying to do something in Vegas and Japan, you know what I'm saying? And,
Right.
and my uncle used to play, so he put a little presentation together. I'm gonna post it, man. But it was cool when I heard it, and I was
Right.
like,
Right.
wow. I never really, I probably met Chuck in passing at a show, you know what I mean? 97 something. Hey, what's up, y'all youngers, man? Y'all, you know, but I never got to talk to Pops and do all that. And so
Right.
I really feel a way about it, but it is what it is. And so that was a cool little joint to have with Mr. Stevenson. You know what I'm talking about?
Right.
And
Right. Right.
name, but
Yeah,
you know,
yeah, man.
Tap Scott, but that's how we connected through Stevenson's. I think from my joint, I think me and Benny's great grandfathers was brothers.
Oh yeah, I know that. Derek Holmes' grandmother and my grandmother was sisters.
Okay. Yeah.
You
And
know,
that's what he told me. When I told him, he said, I think it's on my grandmother's side, because I don't be knowing a lot of that. My sister being and all that. And I've learned more sense. Like I said, we all pop up at the family reunion. So look, y'all, I go to the family reunion, like, all right, they got me doing a little music. I'm like, let me see. Let me see if these niggas, let me see if it's real, right? I keep hearing the talk. And
yeah,
yeah.
we all start trickling in, man. You
These
know,
stars popped up. I said, "Oh yeah, the stars is in the building." Yeah, and I was like, "Man, that's all right. We got pictures. It's out there, but yeah, man, that's a
yeah.
beautiful thing, man. Go."
So yeah, that's real right there. And I was like, damn, you know, all of these years being around you and never knew that we were actually blood family, man.
Right.
But
You know, I
another
used to run into you at different places. What's up, Ali? You like, nigga, you used to always say this, nigga. I'm the R. Kelly or R&B. I'm the Tupac, or right? And you always spit like kind of like you do now. But you know, back then, I'm in a different space or whatever, and you know, we'd be out, and I'd be like, yeah, it sounds like something. I'm like, hey, I told me, man, Chi Ali guy. But look, y'all, I know now this guy right here. But we would run into each other, and I remember you would say that, and it's just like I said, I hear it now, and I'm like, man,
and don't
y'all know I write
and
and
ain't
rap,
put
but
hey
this
look
guy,
with all that being said, and ain't put nothing but one. I'm sitting on all
man,
of this music and only put out one song, which did well. Um, respectfully, outside of the city, man. You know, DC ain't really show me no love on it, because it wasn't what
tradition.
they consider go-go, y'all traditional go-go, but it still had that swing. It just ain't had a percussion in it, you know.
Yeah.
and but that's the way. That's my philosophy, or the way I wanted to present it. I wanted to do a version with the swing in it without the, the heavy percussion, and then do a live version of the same song. Killing two birds with one stone. But I never really got the opportunity to do the live version of the song unless it's live on stage.
Right.
So
And I think that's the formula with recording it. And like I said, that we forget that you make a song, like anybody, rappers make a song on a track. It could be, boom bap or sample even. I went to see J. Cole. Yeah, he gonna have a drummer maybe, a bass player, keyboard player. So most music, I made a joint the other day. Go-Go is best served live, right? But that don't mean we gotta record it and make it sound live, because like Splash, right? It's a song that people that's from the South, or it's about the ladies, splash in the strip club-ish, right? Which a lot of music gets broken. So that's the initial drop of it. And then you come back and you do it with a band and you spread it out and you open it up. That's
right,
the thing. We ain't gotta make a song that sound like a 96 Ibex from
but right, but
right.
right, but that's my philosophy on recording. You do it two versions. You do one the radio edit, then you do a go live version of it. I mean, that's just my philosophy that's my outlook on how I wanted to record the music,
No, but it's true, because the ambiance of the crowd. Like, I don't know if you're talking about even live instrumentation, like you do, like a studio, but boom.
Yeah.
But really, Chuck, it's a lot of music that gets recognized from the live version. I remember High Five. I don't know if you remember that. It was heavy on the radio. Can't wait another minute for your
Yeah,
love.
yeah, I remember
Right?
that.
It was the regular joint. Then they had an RFK version with all the chops and dynamics. I said, I want to hear that one. I don't know if you remember that, but it was on the radio heavy. Saying that to say Huck-a-Bucks. Chronic Breakdown was recorded in studio. It had a live feel, it had a good sound, like we be talking about, right? With my man joint. I forget, like you said, got the live sound coming out of there, but the Huck-a-Bucks live, because that joint, they went to It's Time and Sexy Girl on Chronic Breakdown.
Right.
But when the live It's Time and Sexy Girls will hit, that's the one that hit. You see what I'm saying? And I
Right.
know Chuck got them versions. I know for sure.
It,
So we got to always remember that it's the next level.
right.
You know what I'm
And
saying? Stay on the stage.
it's one more element though, in my philosophy
Okay.
of recording it. You do your your radio edit. That's without the heavy percussion. And then when you do the heavy percussion, it has to be recorded
Mixed in.
outside of the studio. You know what I'm saying? Because all of the studio, it's only one studio that I recorded in that give you that grit, like when we on stage, instead of the tin can sound that a lot of the go-go has that's on the radio. I mean that live, raw, gritty go-go feel. You know what I'm saying? And that was Rick Studio.
Yeah, Rick.
Uh, give you that raw sound. Other studios, it's like they give you the tin can congos and it just sounds too perfect, you know. So, that's just my philosophy. But we about to do it.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
We're about to do it. Yeah, that's the next level. We've been in talks, you and I, with
Yeah.
a few other known individuals in the industry, man, and um about to get together and do something in the studio, like, put out some music. And yeah, and where are we on that music? Speaking of that,
Oh, hey, we in there. We in there. We when we talked last night. Yeah.
yeah, well, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So where we at from last night?
Oh yeah. No, I'm getting it together. I'm
All
getting it
right, all
together.
right. How much time you need? Cause I'm ready.
Hey, I already know you are. Just a couple references, because we're gonna go in there, and do a lot too. But I just want to have something to even play. But yeah, hey, he ain't lying, y'all. We got some a few good men, and then we're gonna leave it right there. But what's Rick's last name? Or you don't want to tell the people about? I forget. That's the studio.
Rick Logan.
Rick Logan. Rick Logan joint.
Yeah,
They
Rick
know.
Logan. The only
But
studio,
yeah,
man, that give you that grit is like is when you hear it, it's gonna feel like you
yeah,
on stage, or that sound that you get when you in the club,
yeah,
that crystal clear go-go with that gritty uh
yeah. All the
and
effects on the bongos and just that. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about because he go live a lot of times and it'd be like, damn, it'd be sounding like a go-go.
yeah.
So yeah. But yeah, hey, we getting to it, y'all. It's a family affair.
Yes indeed. Yes
Yes,
indeed.
Ali the Great, y'all. I ain't gonna hold him too much. I know you're a busy man, and I damn sure am. But yeah, man, it was a pleasure, man, to have you come through last minute. You know what I mean? But
Hey, look,
that's what family for on a
hey,
Cheef and Go.
right. I thank you for the opportunity, bro. And I'm looking forward to some good music together.
Yeah, I'm about to get on as soon as I turn this off. I'm right back to it, right back to the beat, or bring that beat back.
Yeah.
Look, now, Nikki, I called Nikki. Well, I had called him earlier if I talked to you, and he hit me back later. I've been trying to get Nikki for a minute, man. I was gonna have Nikki and Wink. We was gonna go be outside and all that. So I'm telling y'all, we're gonna bring all the good guests and have all these just real natural conversations. But um, might be Nikki next week because I was just ripping and running. I told both of y'all I was like I'm gonna hit y'all before we move, so he might have got caught up or something. But we're gonna get Nicky Bonds in here soon too. And that was good because we got to, you know what I'm saying? I ain't wanna like, and you know what I'm saying, have too many so you could get your story
Like,
and your
nah, man.
opinion, right? But at the same time, I
Hey,
just felt like it'll be a
it's love, and I wish I could have shared the interview
right,
with my
right.
man Bonds. Nicky
Yeah.
Bonds, 'cause, we go back, way back,
Family too, you know what I
way
mean?
back. So. But once again, man, I appreciate you for your platform, man, and I'm looking forward to hearing something real soon from you sent to me, so we can start developing this sound.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed, man. Appreciate your family. All right.
Likewise, Cheef and Go.
Cheef and Go, my man. Ali the Great. All right, brother. I'm gonna hit
All
you in a minute.
right, peace.
All right, peace. Hey, y'all. Hey, look, I appreciate all y'all for tuning in. You know what I mean? Another episode of that Cheef and Go. Doing it for the culture. Hey, I'm getting together, y'all. Like I said, I be busy, man. I be out here ripping and running and chiefing and going. So it's gonna get better and better. And you know what I mean? It's always gonna be some real live, natural conversation, impromptu style, just like go-go, right? I feel like the style of the conversation should fit the style of the music. And the Chief and Go is not all about go-go, but right now, that's what we focusing on because we got to give our own culture some love. You know what I mean? We got to raise our own culture up. We got to raise the people in our culture up. We got to tell these stories that pertain to this rich history and to these individuals that have contributed. You know what I mean? We got to keep it cranking, doing it for the culture. You know what I mean? So I definitely appreciate everybody. I'm gonna hit Nicky Bonds and see. We might do Nicky Bonds next week. You know what I mean? Like I said, I was trying to get Nicky Bonds and Wink at the same time, but this was last minute. You know what I mean? I talked to Ali and he said he'd come through, and then Nick called back, and I was like, whoa, 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 whoa. You know what I'm saying? Hey, two makes better. You know what I'm saying? I got a bunch of star power, but that didn't work out, and I believe everything happens for a reason. So we really got to get into the Chi Ali and his perspective and his history. So, hey, I'm gone, getting out of here. I definitely appreciate everybody watching and tuning in. Go tell a friend. Cheef and Go live each and every Thursday at 8. Right now, I'm definitely trying to build this show. I want to do some in-person interviews. You know what I mean? I'm gonna step it up. But right now, this is what I got. But like, you know what I mean? If y'all really love the content and appreciate what we bringing to you, if you can boop boop boop, like right there, loving the content, please support hey, just a little donation, man. It could be $1. It could be $5, man. That would really help the production and help, help me stop ripping and running so I could sit here and really, focus on doing these interviews and this content, because it's more than interviews. I got a lot of great ideas and content to share for the culture. I'm gonna put Go-Go on my back by putting Go. I'm gonna put Go-Go on the map by putting Go-Go on my back. But I need your help. So hey, $ Go-Go Loops. If you can help, send a little something. If not, it's all love. We're gonna still do it for the culture, because we do it for the culture, because we love the culture and we love this music. And that's what it's about, y'all. Appreciate y'all. Pledge allegiance to the crank for as long as I'm alive. Until next week, Thursday, 8 o'clock. Peace.
Cheef and Go.